Greetings. This is Iyanda Siraj, the Eclectic High Priestess. I hope that I'm finding you well and in good spirits. Y'all, y'all. Okay, so I ran across this news article, and actually all day today, I have been like in the news. Like I've been in the news, and that's not something that's normal for me because I don't even have a TV. So like I don't really watch news, but this morning, it started off with kind of like me thinking about a family member who got in trouble a few years ago. A lot of you might remember his case, actually. But I'll get into that a little later. Either way, I started researching just a little bit about his case and just what happened. And then this evening, I'm sitting here and this lady's case comes across the screen, right? So the story goes, I got a link to the story in the description box already if you want to go look at it. But before I start, let me just say all respect to this woman and her family. The things that I say here are not meant to be disrespectful, and they are just kind of like a hit that I got to look into it. Okay. So, in no way am I saying that I know what this is, but I think I was told to look into it for a reason. So I'm doing that, right? Okay, so immediately when I saw that picture, if y'all saw the picture in the thumbnail, immediately when I saw the picture, I said, bruh, she's an alien. Like, duh. Because the headline, the headline said, help ID this found Enid, Oklahoma woman, right? It didn't say anything else. And as a matter of fact, the article doesn't say anything else. It doesn't say where they found her. It doesn't say like the condition she was in. It doesn't say anything other than the fact that she gave them multiple names and multiple birth dates, and none of them really belong to her. Okay. And I know, with drugs and getting in trouble, even like trafficking, there can be kind of like a disassociation. You really don't know who you are, honestly. And I use disassociation, and I know that's not the right way to use that term, but it's still valid. So there can be disassociation and even also be like confused. You don't know which identity is yours, right? So I decided to, since I felt extraterrestrial vibes, I decided to pick up my ET deck, and guess what popped out? Clone. Okay, so it was ironic because I've been actually watching a series. I've been following this series, and the series is about uh, genetically modified or genetically created clones. And the storyline is that these women are all grown and they're like in their 30s now, but living separate lives and finding each other, like finding out that they're clones, and then joining together to fight against the lab, the organization that created them, and then has been monitoring them and abusing them and doing all these different things this whole time. Okay, so it was just very ironic to me that as I'm watching that, I see this lady's picture. As a matter of fact, like I was watching the show and I was on my phone scrolling. Don't judge me. But so I don't think that's by chance. Like I feel like that's a thing. So I decided to pull out the deck. It came out clone. And I'm like, okay, clone. That's not her. The family claimed the lady already, per the article, per the update. The family came to claim the lady, and she's gone home with them. They said there's still investigation happening with the case. I don't think that she's particularly safe with the family. I don't know what that means, but that's just the feeling that I have. Okay. So with clone here, I pulled some tarot. I got a four of pentacles, which let me know that, when you have this, it means that somebody is being held tightly to, or somebody can't speak on something, or something is being held very closely to their chest. Okay. This is also a card of like, being held back, or being, with the other cards that came up, especially with the Eight of Swords, it feels like there's somebody was in some type of bondage. Okay. Was definitely in some type of bondage. And for me, she I think she did like escape or something like that. But I feel like even just in her appearance, I know I'm skipping around, y'all, but come here. Her appearance in the photo, okay? Now we all done seen a bad wig, but something's not right about that hair, okay? And then something's not right about the police posting that photo saying, hey, help us identify this woman. Well, it'd be easier for us to identify her if you took the wig off and like showed like her. So are they really trying to identify her, or were they really trying to identify her, or was that all kind of like just a little game? Because the article, like I said, it said nothing. It gave like her height, weight, and things like that. But, it didn't tell us anything more about it. Because also like location where you found the person, that type of stuff would also be very important information to help identify somebody. Anyway, so I think I do think that with the Four of Wands here, in addition to those other cards, the Four of Wands in reverse, I don't think that she wants to be at that, wherever she is, wherever that she's been taken back to. I don't think that she wants to be there. Now, it said the family came down from Tulsa, I think it was, to claim her, right? To claim her, ID her. Excuse me. I found it odd the way that they wrote the article too. It could have just been that source, but they had her laying there looking dead, right? Posed, and they just said, help identify this woman. Like, is she dead? Is she alive? Did she do something wrong? Wait, what happened? And so I just feel like it's really strange that there's like no information. And it's shared on the social media platforms. I know that everybody's using these things, but for me, there's something about the lightness of how this is handled or something like that. Like it feels orchestrated or fabricated, okay? Like something like that. Now, I also shuffled the card because when that Four of Wands came up in reverse, that let me know that she's not happy wherever she's been held. And I'm not ignoring the fact that all of these wands are actually like bars, okay? Restraints, okay? And I'm just going to say it the way I feel it, but they like feel like restraints. I also feel like maybe we're going to shuffle some more cards, but I'm just going to say what already comes to my mind. Maybe she's begun to remember certain things, or some things are like coming to her, but she doesn't really understand them. I get a feeling that she doesn't believe like that her parents are her parents, or something like that. She feels like there's something missing, that she's not being told or something, and I'm not just saying this because, now listen, this is very, very close to some of the storylines in that show. So I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to say that's very close. What I just said is very close to the storylines of the show. And I'm saying that so that it doesn't, because I don't want to feel like I'm like drawing from it. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's ironic, it's like happening like that. But I want full disclosure here so you guys know is what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think this person could have definitely been taken from Tulsa, abducted somehow from Tulsa. She's been gone since April. We're getting ready to move into June. So there's really only a month. They don't say when in April she was reported missing, but she was found on May 11th. So just a couple weeks, that she was missing, I guess. Either way, we have a upright four and a inverted four. And I just feel like, she's definitely, I think that there's definitely some mental instability and things like that, because disorientation, when you're trying to, now this is my thought. I'll tell y'all about my story later, but if I was to feel like, disorientation, that's what I'm saying. Disorientation is what I feel. But either way, I pulled a card. I shuffled and pulled cards for the family. I said, okay, so what about the family? Because the Four of Wands was telling me that the home life was not happy, or the home life wasn't what we think it is, or something like the family is not who we think they are. And the card that came out was contracts. And look at this. Look at this person holding this globe. To me, that really feels like I bring this up a lot, but Truman Show, like they were trying to keep her within a certain environment, in type of a certain storyline or something like that, right? And she somehow something came in for her. I don't know if it's like the energy that's been coming through lately, but something came through for her, and she was able to click something enough, like that fight or flight mentality. She was able to get out of something, get away. But I definitely feel like this is tied to like abduction, and I'll just say trafficking too, because there is a lot of red and energy here. So the body and sexuality could be a thing. But y'all know that when we talked about, when the last time we pulled these cards out, there was a lot of mention about the ritual sex abuse when it comes to abductions and things like that. So this could also be something tied to that for sure. But when I pulled this contract, I'm going to go ahead and clarify the family's energy with this contracts card, because we talked about before handlers, people who are in the show, they're called monitors, right? But, in my studies, they're called handlers. And the contract, they have a contract, some of them are actually paid and they don't even know what they're doing. Like some of them didn't even know that these kids weren't their kids, or there was all these different things. Like they adopted a child and they didn't know that the child they adopted was really this, or they went through in vitro, right? And they didn't know that the seed or the egg that they were given was actually a clone, right? So there's something about like people not knowing. And okay, well, good. All right. So, but either way, they definitely have a contract to kind of like manipulate this person's experience or manipulate this person's reality. And like, that's why I said it feels like Truman Show, this contract. So let's see. I want to see, can you tell me more about the family of this missing woman or this found woman? Because she's not missing anymore. Is she or not? I know that's not the lady who left, is what I'm saying. When I looked at her immediately, I just was like, well, duh, she an alien. Duh. Like, it was almost like a joke when I looked at it. I don't know. So anyway, let's see. Let's clarify the contracts card. We got the King of Pentacles. So this is something about the father or a Tauran in her life. But this could also be some kind of now this is definitely giving me trafficking vibes, because I also feel like the King of Pentacles could totally be a pimp. With the Ace of Wands in reverse, that could be a pimp. Or the head of, like in that show, the head of the corporation, the person who is most benefiting from whatever this is, right? This King of Pentacles has one armored foot, right? The left foot is armored. So, yeah, and the other foot is hidden. So I do feel like this person has a face that is shown, and they may be like an authority figure. They could be a police officer, but that doesn't necessarily tie to the King of Pentacles. But this person could be, I do feel like a boss, like the owner of something, the owner of a company. This person's definitely a handler, and they're probably being paid for something. The Ace of Wands in reverse. What's this Ace of Wands in reverse? Wow. The Six of Wands in reverse and the Seven of Cups in reverse. Okay, so this contract is being rewritten. They didn't want to let her out of this contract. I think something was supposed to be done, and they're not letting her out of it. When you look at the picture, she looks pretty depleted. She looks pretty done. Pretty done. I'm checking something real quick. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, the devil. See there. I told you there's something. She was supposed to be done, and they're not letting her out. She was supposed to disappear for good. She was supposed to disappear for good, and she got out, and she made it back. Okay, but what's the point? What's the point? What's the point of her being cloned, or like what's the point like of this whole situation here? Why was, if she was abducted and then a clone was sent back, why? Right? Like why? Government hybrid. Now listen. Now I just said that person could be some type of boss or leader of an organization or something. And now let me see, we got government hybrid. So she's been a part of a government hybrid program. And what was that card that fell over here? Astral dream and tall whites. See, that's what I'm saying. The tall whites. Now look at this lady. Look at this face. Now she don't look exactly like this, but she does have that little nose. She has that little nose okay. Now I got to go look at the picture again, because that actually is creeping me out. Wow. Okay, y'all tell me them pictures don't kind of look alike. Like, look at them features. Come on. Those features look alike. Even the sad look in her eyes. Okay, let me get my booklet so we can read about the tall whites. Because now I need to know why she's here. Like, what did they send the clone here for? The stars. Look, she definitely came from the stars. Look at that. Okay, let's go see what the tall whites be talking about. Tall whites. Let's go to the government hybrid first. You've been involved with factions of our government's secret hybrid program. This is happening for a few reasons. They want you to know what is so special about us and whether our offspring produce psychic abilities and special DNA. They often take these children and study them for some future time to bring them out and use their abilities, often used in the SSP program. I think that was Secret Soldier Program or something. Super Soldier Program, I think. I'm looking to see what that was. SSP. SSP was the Super Soldier Program. Yeah. Okay. So, and that, I'm telling you, this is exactly what's happening in that show too, by the way. The female clones ended up finding out that there were also a set of male clones that were made, and the male clones were part of a military program. Okay, so it says they also use them in alien hybrid programs and the animal hybrid program. Interesting, because the hybrid card literally has a rabbit on it. Look. Unfortunately, we do not know what happens to the mutations from these programs. Some are used in AI, beta, time travel, psychic programming, and even pedophile projects. Okay. All right. So let's see what the tall white's talking about. If you drew this card, you may have had encounters with tall whites. They are a race of ETs who have been coming to Earth for several hundred years. They can be found all over Earth. According to a few whistleblowers, most of the eyewitness accounts have been at Creech Air Force Base in Nevada. And in Australia at Pine Gap. Okay, Creech Air Force Base. We used to, if I remember correctly, when I was stationed in Florida, we used to have a UFO reporting procedure, and I think Creech was one of the locations we used to have to notify for UFO sightings. When people called in with sightings and stuff like that, we used to have to report it through a certain chain. And the information went to an agency who put it on a website, and you could call in and report. You could even call in and listen to other people's calls and reports. You could read reports on this website as well. But anyway, so Creech Air Force Base in Nevada in Australia at Pine Gap. I don't know what that Pine Gap thing is. They don't often contact with humans, but there are some eyewitness accounts of people seeing them during an experience. Others say they are working with humans to help and assist them in their lives. Okay, so now let's look at this, because if in fact the tall white, they got those sad eyes, it does seem very compassionate. It doesn't seem malicious. But and then just like her, she seemed very innocent. Her face was very innocent and like childlike. What's that actress that played in the movie Beloved? The one who came back from the dead. I don't know the actress's name, but that lady also looks like these people, this these tall whites. And I always feel like that lady is so strange, because no matter what she plays in, she still has that energy of that lady. And I know that's a thing in Hollywood, right? We always hold people to their roles. But even when I saw her in what's the movie, Mr. Deeds, with Tyler Perry movie, she just had that same energy, that same vibe. Okay, so anyway, so this looks like, now I don't know from my own personal knowledge, if tall whites take part in hybrid programs and they do walk-ins. And I don't know if I told y'all what a walk-in was, but a walk-in is literally when a being being decides that they're going to use your vessel for a little while. And sometimes it can be to further an agenda for them, but sometimes it can be to help you through a certain period in your life. Okay, and it did just say that the tall whites were coming to help us through our lives, right? So maybe she was dealing with something. She could have been dealing with some type of sexual trauma. She could have also been trying to deal with adjusting to adulthood, or being an adult and having certain memories and thoughts and things like that nobody understood, right? So people could have considered her mentally unstable. And so this tall white could be coming in to help reform her, or just kind of like heal her, maybe do some surgery, like remove implants or some type of technology, right? Okay, so it's interesting that that's there like that. Anything else that we need to know? Because I don't think that there's going to be much more to say, but let's figure it out. Let's see. Is there anything else to add here about her mission, or the contract that she has with the family? You have been shown ET technology and have flown craft. Okay, ET contact E. You have had contact with ETs. So it sounds like she's been aboard a ship or a craft of some sort. Maybe being healed upon this craft. And so when they say clone, maybe it's not actually a clone of her, but maybe kind of like what was sent back was a different version of her. Is a new version of her, which makes sense, because when people talk about the walk-ins, they talk about literally having a whole different person presented. The one lady that I read about, her hair color changed, like she hated her hair color. Like after she had the walk-in, she only wanted to have her hair dark. Her eye color actually literally changed. She said her taste in food, her taste in men changed. She even had she even got a divorce like right after her walk-in, because she whatever it was with her husband, her spouse, she just couldn't adjust to the fact that she didn't know this man. She wasn't attracted to him, right? So this is interesting. Flown craft, ET contactee. Now, and this wig looked like a hell of a bad wig, just like that one that lady had on. Oh, sounds like it's time for me to go. Okay. All right, I guess that's all we needed to hear then about this topic, because I really would love to dig into it, and I thought I had times, but I guess the baby's deciding otherwise. So there we go. That's all I got. If y'all have information, if you find that this topic is interesting, like if you want to see more videos like this, because believe me, there's lots of stories that I would love to do this on. Comment on the video and let me know, because I like this. I got the idea to do these types of readings back in 2017 when that young lady was found in that hotel, in the basement freezer of that hotel. And Kanika Jenkins, I think that was her name. But I got the idea to do these types of readings, investigative type of readings. But I was scared that it would be, since that's a sensitive thing when families are looking for answers, and you got random psychics online talking about, oh, this is the story, right? I just thought that was kind of messed up. But now I've been given a different view of it. And who knows, the information could be helpful, because I believe in this energy. I believe this stuff is real. So it could help, maybe. So anyway, that's all I got. Peace, y'all.